Hello and welcome to another Lord of Heroes Beginner's Guide here on Nyris Gaming. Today covering Linkstones Summoning and Aptitudes, an incredibly important system to acquire most of the game's best heroes, but where can you get the currency for free? Let us begin. First things first is your automatic monthly check-in. This will net you 50 on day 5 and 15 and another 300 on day 25 of the month, for a total of 400, which is 100 short of a 10 pull. Next up is your main repeatable income for Linkstones, albeit a very small amount. The Silence Traits over here by Varia, all the way up to 30 million damage as a team. You will be getting 1 Linkstone per battle. If you do 30 million and above, you will get 2 Linkstones per battle. You can have 10 Thalassic tickets in storage at a time. They replenish at a rate of 1 per hour, and it takes 2 to do a battle. A special thing to note is the event Conquer the Silence. This is an event that runs for the first week of every month and will net you extra Thalassic tickets for doing battles in the Silence Straits, for a total of 10 extra tickets per day for the week. Lastly, our personal damage rewards. This will be for the total damage you do on your own. This will mostly be replica gear chests and soulstones, but if you pull off 50 million damage on your own, you are rewarded a one-time 500 Linkstones, which is a free 10 pull. You can do this once per element. The Silent Straits raid becomes available after occupying Isola on hard difficulty. Next is going to be the Temporal Rift over by Dakion. This is a raid that will spawn after the community has used a certain amount of energy. The Linkstones will come from the personal points you get based on your damage per individual battle. You are given 3 attempts every time the raid opens. These can range from 1 all the way up to 10. The Temporal Rift raid will become available after you complete War of the Tyrants, Book of Prophecy, day 12, 914. Very frequently, limited time events have Linkstones as a reward option, like the current event right now. They are part of the reward pool for the random rewards you get for exploring the Summer Treasure Hunt. Another very consistent source of Linkstones is the Ad Gifts event. This is permanent and resets on a daily basis. For watching a total of 8 ads, you will get 12 Linkstones daily. There are very, very rare instances in the Mystic Shop where you can find Linkstones for free in the second ad slot. This doesn't happen very often, and it's often at absurd hours of the day, like early morning, so take them when you find them. Back on the homepage, we have Citadel Missions. These will give you treasure raffle tickets for doing very normal things within the game, such as winning Coliseum attacks or completing story stages. This will have several stages worth of rewards. Each will be a table of 15 things. Linkstones can be available on here, as well as in the final reward capsules. The chances at Linkstones and higher quantities of them get better the higher stage you are in. Progressing a stage requires you to get this capsule, at which point you will be allowed to stay on that stage to get the rest of the rewards, or continue onward to the next stage. Moving on to the leaderboard in the bottom right here next to story. This is a reward pool based on your rank within the community based on 3 different things, being total hero power strength, the Calamity's Cradle raid, and the Silent Straits raid. These are given out every week on Sunday. They are also a very good source of gold and other resources. I forgot to mention it in my gold video. If you want other gold sources, I will link it in the cards above. For Linkstones, you are mainly going for these capsules, which get better and better as you rank higher, and can have very decent amounts of Linkstones in them, as well as relic summon tickets and contract summon tickets. Summon tickets will allow you a single pull on a banner, especially contract summon tickets, as they are the only way to pull on the contract summon banner. Speaking of tickets, coming over here below the Temporal Rift is the Elemental Obelisk. There are lots of rewards to be gained here for completing the Bronze through Gold challenges. Several of the Gold challenges will net you several hundred Linkstones. This will not only require you to win the stage, but also be using all heroes of the opposing element of the current tower, and have everyone survive to the end. There are also those relic summon tickets, and tickets to summon on the Link banner. You can also get 2 sets of 50 Linkstones twice monthly, but the cost per each of these is very extremely high at 60 Formless Essence. At maximum, if you are lucky, you can get 12 Formless Essence per day. I personally believe there are immensely better uses, such as converting into the other ones to purchase Aptitudes for free-to-play heroes, which we will get into more later. You can also come over to the terminal, where you can find Entity Pursuit. Going through this is a long process where you send out heroes on an expedition to pursue a specific character. Once you've completed all 10 phases on a new character, you will be given 200 Linkstones. Lastly, on your hero pages, if you come to this little quill below their stars, you will have their level, ascension, skill, and aptitude rewards. The rewards for aptitudes and ascension being Linkstones. For ascension, you will get 50 on ascension 1 and 100 on ascension 2. For aptitudes 1 through 5, you will be getting 50, 50, 50, 100, and 200. Now to take a look at the summoning system itself. You will come down to the summon button on the bottom of the main menu. Here you can see a list of all of the currently available summon banners. If you have finished an entity pursuit, it will be at the top. You are given 20 free summons once you unlock that, and you will likely get a bunch of free relic summon tickets for their specific banner. You then have a total of 6 days to summon on this banner before having to pursue that character again. Beyond that, we have what are called featured summon banners. These feature characters that can only be found on these banners, alongside their relic summon banners. While they may be the primary one on the banner, there are very minuscule chances that you get other characters. Featured summon banners usually stay open for about a month to a month and a half, and rotate on a fairly regular basis. Oftentimes there is a brand new character at the beginning and the middle of the month. When you are summoning on one of these, there is a pity system like other games, where after 90 summons you are guaranteed the featured summon character. Unlike other games, there is no 50-50 system. You are for sure guaranteed that character, not a character. Below those is the Link Summon banner. This features mostly heroes who were purely paid only before. This is up permanently, and you can use Link Summon tickets here. Like the other ones, there is a 90 pull pity system, and it can be for whoever you choose in the slot. I have a tier list for the Summon banner, which I will link in the cards now. Just keep in mind it is missing several heroes because it was a long time ago and they keep adding to this banner, and I've updated my opinions on several of the characters. So what you find there might be a bit outdated. I will be working on updating that in the near future though. Next is Contract Summon, which is the same as all the rest, except you choose 3 heroes, which are the ones you sign on monthly contracts and unlock at the end of logging in for a month every day. And this is the only banner you cannot use Linkstones on. You have to use Contract Summon tickets, the best source of those being that Leaderboard reward pool. There's also the Names of Legends banner, which is purely a relic banner, with the 5 starter heroes having increased rates. You oftentimes get a lot of these just from pulling on other banners, so I don't know how worth it this one is, especially if you're trying to save up for a specific character or trying to keep up with all the characters they keep putting out. You can also access Entity Pursuit from over here. The Link Shop is where you will spend the link traces you get from doing summons, which has a plethora of things you can buy. Also Link Cubes 10 daily, which can be used over here in Fate Link to unlock a node for either Light Mu or Dark Lambda. Unlocking all 10 nodes will net you that character. You can continue on after getting the characters to get duplicates, which will net you Aptitudes, which is our next topic. If you go to a hero's page on their first tab, in the bottom right you will have their aptitude page. Spiritus Gems are items you get for summoning duplicates of a hero, or by purchasing them in the Elemental Obelisk using 30 of that element's essence. Each hero has 5 aptitudes to unlock, and they increase their base stats and unlock aptitude skills. The aptitude skills and stats vary by class, but there are some similarities. All characters will get 5% attack and HP at both level 1 and 2, 10% attack and HP at level 3, as well as the first level of the aptitude skill, 5% attack, 10% HP, and 10% defense at level 4, and 10% attack and HP at level 5, as well as the second level of their aptitude skill. As stated before, these stats will apply to the base stats of a hero, raising those up and making your gear scale even harder off of that base stat. Going over the class differences, Guardians will get 7 speed at level 1 and 10 speed at level 2. They will reduce the damage taken by all allies from their opposing element by 7%, and increase their own damage against their opposing element by 7%, both of those going up by 8% at level 2. Warriors will gain 10% crit rate at level 1 and 10% resistance at level 2. Their aptitude will increase their own attack and defense by 10% for every ally of the same element on the field, increasing by another 10% at level 2. Strikers will gain 10% crit damage at level 1 and 10% crit rate at level 2. They will gain 20% damage against their opposing element at aptitude skill 1 and an additional 20% at level 2. Snipers like Guardians will gain 7 speed at level 1 and 10 speed at level 2. Level 1 of the aptitude skill will increase the damage of all allies against the opposing element of the sniper by 10%, going up to 20% at level 2. Clerics will get that same 7 and 10 speed at level 1 and 2, and then have a 15% chance to revive each ally of the same element as them, with 15% of their health upon taking a turn, going up to 22% at level 2. This can come in quite handy in places like the Obelisk where you need everyone to stay alive. And Commanders will still get that 10 speed at level 2, but 10% resistance at level 1. And their level 1 aptitude will deal additional damage that ignores defense for every ally of the same element as them on the field, up to a max of 24%, going up 2% at level 2 for each ally. And that concludes this overview of Linkstones, Summoning, and Aptitudes. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Did I miss anything? I do believe there are Linkstone rewards for completing whole sections of the War of the Tyrants, but I can't seem to find the reward pages anymore since I completed them. If you remember what those are, please let me know down in the comments. Like if you liked, subscribe for more in the future, pop into my gaming live streams on Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time if you are so inclined, and I shall see you in the next one.